24 hours to launch a business, build a generative AI video, and launch a website. Am I crazy? So 24 hours to produce a video is a challenge, but when you couple in the fact that we've got no brand, we've got no style, I don't have a URL yet, we've got to do a website. Yeah, I think just in general, this is a tall order. First step is we need to build a brand, and I'm planning on using Notion to do that. Then what we need to do is build a storyboard, because it's going to take a lot of time to generate all those clips and go back and forth and make sure they're all good. Definitely going to use VO. I'm not sure whether we're going to use VO Fast or VO 3.1 Pro. And for the website, I'm hoping to use a new tool, which I think is from Singapore, a company called Aura, which uses Gemini Pro essentially to build the website. And that should give us a really nice, glossy, kind of non-AI slop website. But I'm on the fence of whether to use it or not, because actually I think this business, because it sells digital products as well, we might end up making a last minute change if I can't get the online shop features to work. We might end up going for Shopify potentially, and then revisiting the face or the homepage at a later date and replacing it with something from Aura. Hopefully in 24 hours, 1, we're still alive, 2, hopefully we've finished everything, and 3, I can get some sleep. So I'll see you on the other side. Cut to future me. Okay, so it's 18 hours after we started. The video's done. I was hoping we'd be further along than this, but to be honest, it was a bit of a painful exercise to create this high-end video purely using generative tools. I think what we'll do first is show you the video, and then we'll go into how we made it, the tools we used to create it, and the tips and tricks that I would do if I was starting this process all over again. Let's watch the video first, see what you think.
Construction sites are dangerous places, full of complexity, waste and risk. Today, this no longer has to be the case. Yes! We introduced artificial intelligence holistically to empower everyone. Don't worry, we do the technical part so you don't have to. Seriously. Learn and grow with us. Stop building in black and white. Build in colour. So why are we doing this? Simple. To give people back their time. Build in colour.
So I think you can see that it's a pretty good output. There's a few things which are not 100%, and if you're working with a video production house, you'd probably change some of the items. But you can see that it's got that story arc, that it's basically going from the industry that's in black and white to AI enabled, building in color essentially. And that was really a key message that I want to get across in this video, that we really focus on that kind of hook around, why are you building in black and white? Now you can use us and you can build in color essentially. So that was kind of the story arc. Obviously, construction as an industry is, I think, well renowned as being a bit of a laggard, but also I think there's kind of 2 tiers at the minute. You've got kind of the big organizations who are dominating the tech space, let's say, but I would say they're not dominating it with the bleeding edge technology, which is why this niche exists, which is get the SMEs and the tier 2, 3, 4s to use this kind of technology, and we'll build that agentic approach for them. And basically what will happen is they will certainly leap from these large organizations, and I think these large organizations potentially in some cases are holding this industry back with their sort of proprietary technologies or enterprise level technologies. So now the focus, give them the firepower to accelerate this industry essentially from black and white into color. So now what I think what should do is go into how do we actually generate this video. there's a million ways you can start. For me, I really like to start in Notion. I think Notion is probably one of the best ways of getting your ideas across. For me, what I did was I used their built-in AI kind of companion. You can see here my original prompt, so talking a little bit about the business, then talking about I'm going to use AI to generate these clips, so don't make it like one big storyboard. It needs to be 8-second chunks. And then I gave it some information which I realized at about 2 a.m. last night was wrong. So 2 to 3 minutes for an opening video or a launch video for a business is just too long. And then essentially some context on some of the background, why we're doing it, to get kind of the look and feel or the finish. And then basically explaining about our niche. And then from then, essentially, it started to build these storylines. And I thought I could be smart and get it to generate the prompts. What I was hoping I could do is just copy this prompt and then essentially paste it into Firefly and get that to generate the content really quick. I soon found that that is impossible. You can't do that. So just looking at Firefly, you can see that I ditched that completely. This is the last scene, and you can see here that this prompt is not anything to do with this prompt. So we completely ditched this approach halfway through. Although we did generate a lot of footage and burn a lot of credits. So yeah, I think we are where we are. What I did was I used, I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to call it generative AI Oreo effect. Essentially what that means is we use stock footage, we use GenAI footage, and then we use stock footage. So essentially we're bookmarking the AI to control it a little bit more. Also, I did play around with using Nano Banana to basically create an image on one side and an image on the other side that I was happy with, and then basically running the video generation from that, and it worked pretty good as well. So both ways work, but because we're in a rush, I use stock footage for some of the bookending. So if we go to Premiere now and look at the actual this first scene here, which is the wow one, where people are like, oh, how did you fly an FPV drone through the building and then land inside the HGV? It's GenAI. So basically this prompt through here is almost that first prompt from Notion. So I pasted it in. I kept the sound effects, but I ditched the video. Ditched the audio because I didn't like the music. I used a tool for everybody, if you want to know. I used a tool called Epidemic Sounds, I think it is. Yeah, Epidemic Sounds. And Epidemic Sounds, I think, has got the best library. Obviously, you've got to subscribe, but I think it's got the best library of stock music or music that you can use royalty-free on YouTube. I'm not sponsored by them. There's no affiliation. I just think it's the best one. And then also, you probably noticed there was a lot of like animated text that I was using. Again, we didn't have much time, so I used a asset which I've used in the past, which is from Envato. So Envato is a good resource if you're looking for these kind of templates type stuff. I'm not a big fan of the video templates where you drop the footage in, but for the typography type ones, I think really well. We generate the video, put the video in, we remove the audio, other than I did sample out the drone sound. I added that in, and then basically we got to the typography. I took the asset and then basically I modified that asset in Premiere Pro. You can see here that this is the asset, and here you're able to edit pretty quickly the text that's inside of here, and then you can adjust the colors and the sizing and the background if you want, which I did on this actually. I would say the hook, and the hook in the story arc basically is we've told this story, we've set out this problem statement that construction's behind, it's dangerous, but there's something there that can help you today, which is obviously AI. So then the strap line I'm really focused on is bringing the world into color. Here you can see we use this stock footage, which is just stock drone footage from Adobe Stock. To change the lumetri essentially inside the footage, so pivots from black and white to color, and then obviously time it with the beat of the music. So one other tool I did use is I used 11 Labs, and I'll show you that now. So 11 Labs is a text to voice generator. It's amazing. I did use two different models though, I'll be honest. I used V3 for the ones which were really important, and I wanted to get some kind of choice between whether I wanted it faster, slower, whatever. So I used this tool, which is the enhancement feature. So that enhancement feature is I would say pretty useful, but for the main body of the text I used this one, which is the V2 multilingual. It's good, very good. You can adjust, if you select this one, you can adjust lots of different variables, but I just think it didn't sound personal enough to hook the user into thinking that it's a person speaking. Now we've got to produce the website. All right, so although I am a Figma user, I just wanted to try a new tool. So I subscribed to this, and it's $20 US a month or something like that. So I think it's pretty nice. And I just wanted it to be a really simple kind of landing page where it looks nice and it gives you that kind of professional flair. So, and also I wanted it to have some neat animations, which I haven't got time to program myself, to be honest. So this, you can see, has got some cool things. So it's definitely on brand. There's not any text on here which is unnecessary. So we programmed in some features like this one here. So you can see we've got product studio and strategy. Thinking about it, that's slightly different to the video, but maybe we can fix that later. When you hover over the text here, it does some animation there. I think it's really nice. Not happy with these pictures at the minute, I'll be honest. Where I like the fact that when you hover over them, they change, but the actual images are not, they're very stock imagey, and I need to replace that. Here the description is slightly different to the video, so obviously we need to come back and address this. And then yeah, at the bottom we need to fix. Obviously we need to plug all the social media, blah blah blah. So overall, fast. This was probably an hour playing around with it. We got 4 hours or just under 4 hours left. I'll mess around with it a little bit more, but obviously we need to go live with this. So when the launch comes out, people can click on the link at, I think it's 10 a.m. tomorrow, we've scheduled it. So they can watch the video, they can click on the link, and then essentially we can get people into our moat to basically start the marketing. All right, I'll check back in with you later. Peace. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is 11 o'clock now, so we've missed the deadline. The main reason for actually missing it is because I had a quick change of heart. So obviously I went down the path of building a really nice website using Aura and GenAI, which was going great, but I think it just needs a lot more time, and time I can't give it, obviously, because we need to go live in the morning. Essentially, I need to be able to have a digital marketplace so people can purchase my products. So essentially, I went through Shopify after spending 3 hours or so on Gemini. So yeah, so we've got a really nice glossy website which is almost ready to deploy. But for now, let's just focus on getting Shopify live. So essentially, here's what we've got. So over here you can see that we have a website. It is fully working. It's got some nice graphics in it, although they're not that glamorous. I think we need a quote between these two graphics, and yeah, some of the links don't work, but it's okay for a first hit. You can create a profile, you can send us a message. We've got 4 products on there today, which are basic ones, but obviously we need to add in the software as well, which we can do tomorrow. And yeah, the homepage looks alright. It's got a nice logo. It is connected to our domain, which is very, very important. So check it out on geometry-ai.com. All in all, we used this tool essentially to build it. So if we go into here, you can see that I did a lot of prompting to basically build this website. It's a completely custom theme as well, so it's a non-standard Shopify theme, although it did start off as a standard one. So let me find out which theme. Whisper, that's what it was called, the Whisper theme. So yeah, so that's that. So in summary, what did we get done in 28 hours? 27 hours actually. We managed to get a video produced and essentially this one hit. So we did all this. We also wrote the post on LinkedIn, and also now what we've done is we've purchased and published the website. Okay, so that's everything. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Also, make sure you buy some AI stuff from our website. Thank you.